Oh, it's great to start on. The annoying ringing, vibrating. Let's see what's new with the relationship. Isabella really likes us. Hannah likes us, not as much as Isabella. Or Ashton. Or Rebecca. That's alright. What's new with the journal? A frightened Isabella Santos knocked at Zachary Steele's apartment in the middle of the night. Shaken, she refused to say what happened. Zachary let her stay, regardless. And October 29th, Hannah called Rebecca Gales, hoping to catch up with an old friend. The talk got interrupted by a horrible clicking and the cry of a woman from the wine cellar. Hannah confronted Luke regarding last night's drama. He confessed he slept with Rochelle, insisted he's not the father of her child. Accepting his apology, Hannah then informed him that she's 3 months pregnant. Then talk was interrupted when a crazed Officer Lee refused to leave the mansion, screaming about helping a crying woman. Oh my god, that's gonna get annoying. In the end, it became one of those nights when sleep passes like a blink and is plagued with vague, fuzzy thoughts. I lift a hand to rub away the drowsiness from my eyes, although it does little to relieve the gritty, burning sensation from my eyelids. Outside, the sun has yet to peek over the horizon. Why won't that end? The night has already given way to the cold, cool morning light, washing everything in subtle gray hues. Come on. At this hour, the entire city remains unstirring. Ordinarily, waking up before my own alarm means abusing the snooze button twice or thrice just to catch those precious few extra minutes of sleep. But the persistent ringing makes it impossible now.
This better be good.
I know, dude. Groggily, I scramble for the bag sitting at the foot of the bed. The ringing still hasn't stopped, even as I fish the phone out, and Ashton's name flashes brightly on the screen when I turn it on. Must be pretty urgent if he hasn't dropped the call yet.
Took you long enough, Z-Man.
Oh my god. About time. Alright, now we can do the journal. Properly do the... Where's the profiles? There we go. Alright, Zachery Zach Steele. Ooh, he's a Pisces, 31 years old. March 20th is his birthday. His height is 0. Oh no, that's a 6. All right. Freelance photographer, American agnostic. Are they? What is Anglican? That diploma and digital film. Pie. Good guy. Liking pie. Personally, apple pie. Oh my god, apple pie. Cannot keep an apple pie around me without it being eaten. Photography and filmography, documentaries, cooking, acoustic guitar, video games. Before his parents' death, he lived in New Jersey where his family owned a diner and bakery. He and his older sister were orphaned due to a hate crime, and they were forced to move to England where their grandparents lived. He had loved cooking and helping out with their old diner, but grew lazy and disinterested after the incident. It did not help that he was one of the few blacks in a predominantly white community at the time. His passion for the visual arts was sparked when he found old Polaroids and home movies of his parents. Hopefully not that kind of home movies. Freelancing helped pay his rent, but the man had long set his sights on the indie film scene. It was during the creation of his first documentary that a robbery occurred and Ashton was there to investigate. Being in the wrong place at the wrong time led to Zachery being placed as a suspect, but the rookie detective helped him clear his name. I guess we gotta wait. Oh, it is in order. Well, Marianne will be next, then Rebecca, Ashton, Luke. Jeez, this is a pretty long game.
Ashton, it's 6 in the morning. The sun hasn't even risen. Hell, my brain ain't even awake yet.
Look at this clock. It's broken. It's noon.
Stop calling me Z-Man.
It's 20 past 6, Zach.
You're one to talk. Give me back my 5 extra minutes, Ash. I want my sleep.
Hey, don't make fun of me. I can be a more person too if I want to.
What's this all really about? You don't usually make calls around this hour. Is the world ending today?
about that. Becca rang me up a few minutes ago looking for Isabella. Said she didn't show up in her own apartment last night. We both tried calling, but her phone seems to be off.
I'm just imagining Rebecca has like a hidden camera set up in Isabella's apartment. How else does she know? Unless she's been watching her, keeping tabs on her. She is stalking her. That's hilarious. Just waiting. You know what? Rebecca is either planning on killing Isabella for having Ashton's attention, or she's planning to bang her. I don't know. Or she's just a super, super clingy, concerned friend. I'm not sure. Maybe it's all three. Weird. Okay, anyway.
Do you have any idea where...
Yeah, she's been in my bed, dude. Don't hate.
I should have known you two would come looking for her first thing in the morning.
Not a laughing matter, Zach. You can't really let your guard down with everything that's happened here recently. You've heard about the Cooper woman from the news. Everyone in the precinct has been restless ever since the incident the other day.
Oh, that's what's got them restless, huh?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Listen, Ash, about Bella.
She's in my bed. I let my voice trail off, unsure of how to go about recounting last night. All the antics, all the comfort. If I should even say anything to him. He might be a close friend, but at the end of the day, whatever's bothering her ain't mine to speak of in the first place. I can't believe I said ain't. On the bed, Isabella remains as still as when I transferred her the night before. Sometime during her sleep, she pulls a blanket up over herself and tucked into it comfortably. Like this, it's easy to forget the horror in her eyes or how much her hands and lips trembled. Save for her firm grip on the edge of the covers, she appears nearly as normal as she would any other day. Almost.
I'm not really sure how to go about this while being...
Naked?
Zach, what about her?
Something. The worry, the concern must have surfaced in my tone because his own shifts then. Carefully, as if he's preparing for the worst.
Look, you don't have to worry about her. She's with me right now. Since last night, in fact.
Oh, why didn't you just say so earlier?
She kind of knocked in the middle of the night. I couldn't possibly wake you two over that.
Send a text, dude. That's what I do. I just text people randomly in the middle of the night and never hear back from them.
And with how things are when she arrived, I thought it'd be best if I let her rest first. I just wasn't expecting people would be looking for her before the rooster even crows.
You could have at least called her something. Becca's beside herself with worry when she found out. You know how much she frets about the smallest stuff.
I know. I'm sorry. That was a lapse on my part. And I just didn't think, okay, you know what? Rebecca's worries ain't completely baseless. Isabella hasn't been her usual self since the movie. Maybe even before that.
Or maybe even ever.
I don't know if I should be opening my mouth about this, but Bella didn't outright say I shouldn't, so...
So something's wrong then?
I'm not quite sure, to be completely honest. I couldn't get the story out of her.
Could it be the fact that her co-worker was brutally murdered? No, that couldn't be what's bothering her.
Really? I thought you'd learned something from me by now.
I mean, we know that, she's being followed by some weird, creepy ghost, but they don't know that.
That's not it. Ash, when she appeared at my doorstep last night, she was shaking, and when I tried to ask her about it, she just panicked. Had this frightened look on her face. I'd be surprised if this was the first time I've seen it, but it ain't. Dude, the first time, she was screaming.
My name... Sorry. Oh, what have I done? What is this? Backlog? Okay. Oh, I can... Hang on.
I'd be surprised if this was the first time I've seen it, but it ain't. Dude, the first time, she was screaming.
My name. Can't help it.
First time? When was this? You weren't talking about the thing in the movie house, are you? Because that was just us fooling around. Granted, I think I went overboard with the joke, but...
Oh, yes, just fooling around. It was just a joke. No homo.
No, it happened the day after. When she invited us to lunch, you weren't there. We were walking one second, and then the next, she's crying out. I'll be straight with you. That scared me shitless.
Spontaneous orgasm. Okay. Okay, I'm just I can be serious. I can be serious about this. It bothered him if the way he falls silent after his telling. But whatever his opinion is, stays absent from his voice when he speaks again. He's always been good with that, hiding what he thinks.
Did she say anything else?
Nothing. Won't tell me anything aside from a few vague words. I didn't want to push it.
Where is she? Is she still sleeping?
Right here with me, still sleeping. Should I wake her up or something? Let her know you guys are looking for her?
No need. Let her rest. I'll drop by in a few.
Why didn't the phone wake her?
Today? Don't you have work at this time? I mean, I can drop her off home myself before meeting my client later.
Look who's talking.
My schedule's flexible, Ash. Last time I checked, you're the one who didn't have that luxury.
Being a detective who's wearing a fluffy coat. But, you know, you definitely don't have a flexible schedule. Unlike that flexible dress code.
How on earth do you think I'm able to tag along when you need me?
It's not completely out of the way.
They live on the other side of the town from you, Ash. Your definition of out of the way is a little screwed up, you know.
Zach, why are you complaining about him stopping by unless you just don't want him to stop by? Just say you don't want him to stop by and not complain about how far he's going to travel.
It's fine. I have some things I need to do anyway. I'll call you back. I've got to let Becca know that Scared Cat's fine. Bye.
He drops the call before I can even get a word in, and for several minutes after, I find myself simply listening as the rest of Luxborn rouses. The increasing sound of passing traffic, the bustle of the nearby shops preparing for the day, and the growing clamor of the people while they go about their morning. Not the most soothing sounds to hear following a troubled night, but the routine puts me at ease nevertheless. What's comforting, what's safe, what I'm used to. Nearby, Isabella shifts but doesn't wake, blissfully unaware of as the city slowly stirs itself back to life. Was her night as restless as the one I had? Were her dreams as lucid? In hushed moments like this, I envy her. Unreasonable, probably a little unfair to say such in light of last night. If only forgetting is as easy as breathing. It's easy, just get depression. It messes with your memory. It makes it hard to remember things. Except for, never mind, the things you don't want to remember are just very clear, regardless. As a small yawn escapes me when I rise from the couch to stretch. Luckily, the short conversation with Ash has effectively driven away any will to go back to bed. I still have a day to get through despite the proverbial ghost hanging around. Uh-oh. Pills. The orange bottle sitting at the edge of my table is reassuring against my palm the instant I pick it up. The sterile odor of the capsules equally so. Yet, the weight they carry is something I've never been used to. Years ago, I'd spend minutes, heck, even hours staring at a single pill prior to taking one. What? Why would you spend hours just staring at the pill? Seems like a waste of time. Now it's just routine, a way to stave off the unwanted nightly visits. Although I don't think Dr. Navarro will be quite pleased if he ever finds out I'm relying on them again. I do owe him a visit regardless, especially after missing our appointments on purpose and ignoring his calls for weeks. Another sigh comes out, tired and weary, and then I pop the tablet into my mouth.
Zach? What time is it?
The bottle in my hand hits the table with more force than necessary, drawing even more attention to it, even though that's really what I didn't want. As much as I trust my friends, there are some things I'd rather keep to myself, especially my pill addiction.
Morning, Bella. Did you sleep well?
She answers the question with a long, drawn-out yawn, one reminiscent of a child. A chuckle manages to come out of my mouth at the sight. In this manner, it's easy to mistake her for someone too young for responsibilities. Inexperienced and immature, even. Easy to forget she was thrust into the role of an adult earlier than her own dreams can afford, to overlook how surprisingly observant she can be at times. Maybe not on the same level as Ash, or the same level Ash exercises for his investigations, or Rebecca needs for her own teaching to observe when students know her ubiquitous bouncing. But it's certainly enough to deftly put what she sees around her on canvas. And if the way her eyes flickers to the table in my hand says something, it is that I won't be able to avoid the questions this time.
Only a little. I don't remember how I ended up on the bed, though.
I know if I see anyone taking a pill or see a pill bottle, I immediately question them. Because that's just normal, right?
My doing. You didn't look very comfortable sleeping on the couch, all hunched up like that.
It would have been enough for something temporary. Sorry I stole your bed.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Besides, what kind of gentleman would I be if I leave a lady sleeping in such uncomfortable conditions?
You're putting it on a little too thick, Zach. She already slept in your apartment last night.
Not in this house. My nana will give me a tough scolding if I ever did that, I'm telling you.
Thanks a lot, Zach. I know I barged in at a very inconvenient time last night. I wasn't really thinking when I did, and...
Hey, it's cool, Bella. I ain't mad at you. That's what friends do. You guys are welcome here anytime.
You know, it's interesting. Of all the people she went to Zach. Is that a hint? A hint of something? Maybe? I don't know.
Although Ashton abuses the anytime part a lot, I don't really mind.
Shows up at 3 in the morning, eating his breakfast.
We might have less wiggle room if all 4 of us are present, considering the size of this place. But as long as no one makes anything explode, it's totally fine.
Just clear the desk off and just sleep on it. I don't know.
Fine or not, I still owe you one for last night's trouble, especially since you don't seem to be...
A concerned expression passes over her features as she spares another cursory glance over the table back to the bottle holding every small piece of what keeps the bad memories at bay. You know what? It took a great effort not to make a joke about that last part. Not this one, but the previous. The blood blooming over Pa's heart, the horrified look on Ma's face as she watches him fall lifeless to the ground, and everyone's ounce of spite seeping from the stranger's smile. Gods, he's got that too, just the intrusive thoughts or memories about something terrible happening. Gods, I started having that happen to me after something terrible I saw. You don't belong here. You monkeys don't belong here. Why is the monkey thing? I don't understand that. They don't look like monkeys. Monkeys are terrible looking. Creepy looking. Never stops, doesn't it?
Well, you don't seem to be feeling well. Let me know, okay? I'll make it up to you somehow.
She makes a slight gesture with her head towards the bottle. Like, what? I'll make it up to you by hooking you up with some more pills? Is that what she's saying? Asking a question without really asking. Subtlety has never been one of her greatest assets, and right now, even Ash would have been a little amazed, if not at loss for words at that. She has left it up to me whether I'll give her the response she wants to hear or not. A little clever coming from her if anyone would ask me. You know what, just tell the truth, dude. But it's never easy, isn't it? Talking about my own problems, that is. It will never be. Not by a long shot. Not when I've let it stay this way for so long. I realized that long ago, when the wounds are still fresh and the dreams are a nightly occurrence, you can't force yourself to get better or move on to better things. Oh wait, let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be Isabella and Zach hooking up. I don't know. Horror dating sim. Once again, I would be interested in a horror dating sim. It'd probably be like this, a visual novel, but you know what? It could be fun. It is what's normal now, and I can only cope. Question in her eyes, maybe unwarranted, born simply out of curiosity and sincere concern for a friend. I don't owe her an explanation, in fact. But of all the people I keep close in my life, she's probably one of the very few who perhaps I can trust with this. Maybe she won't understand entirely, I can never hope she will. No, never to the full extent. How could she ever understand how horrible it was to see your parents murdered in front of you? That alone is expecting too much of her and giving too much of what I can. However, for all her shortcomings, I know she'll hear me out. And that is all I ask of her.
My bad. I was kind of hoping you wouldn't have seen me with these.
Pills rattle lightly against the container when I gently set it back to its usual place. Always the small area closest to my laptop near the right hand. Within reach whenever, and a quiet reminder of what I shouldn't miss every day.
What? Oh, is it bad? I was just thinking that maybe it's a cold like Becca's.
And that's why you're like, should I be worried? Should I be like taking some kind of... I don't know. That's right. Airborne was a scam.
Do you need me to get anything from the store? Soup or something? There's one nearby, right? I can run real quick and...
No, nothing of that sort. I'm perfectly healthy right now. It's really difficult to say, but can you promise me you'll listen at least?
What is this about, Zach?
I should have been upfront with you about this a long time ago. Well, Ashton found out without me telling him anything. But you already know how that guy is. Can't hide anything from him.
If it's something you're having trouble saying, you don't have to force yourself to tell me. I'll forget I ever saw anything and won't ask questions. Promise.
She'd be a great witness.
No, I need to get this off my chest eventually. Besides, we're already here. Might as well finish what I started, yeah?
Yeah, finish it. Finish her.
If you say so.
She takes a seat on the couch, her posture easy and open, and her smile honest. As if this is just a simple talk between two friends on a regular day. It is far from one, but her unreserved air is enough to stamp down the twinge of unease that threatens to come up.
Let's hear it then.
And she does. Feels like yesterday. Interesting achievement. True to her words, she listens while the story spills out of my mouth of my ma and pa, that little old diner across the pond, and what is left in me that day. You know what? I'm glad the music changed. I didn't realize until it changed just how that other track was annoying me. Can't recall most of it now. My own account jagged with a few missing details here and there. The passing years have eroded most of my recollection of the whole incident. All except for that one moment in the kitchen. The ringing of gunshots are as vivid as it sounded that day. Even Ma's hysterical screams the moment Pa's body hit the floor, motionless, his lifeblood flowing out from under him. And the gunman. He was smiling. He was smiling when Pa opened the door to welcome him. He was smiling when he put a bullet to Pa's chest and Ma's head. Gods. I've heard the stories of how the world can be a cruel place for people like us before. Never believed until that moment.
Nan and Gran took us right after that. Sis and I flew straight to New Jersey as soon as they heard the news. A few days after, Ma and Pa were laid to rest. And we have a new home, a continent